Hello and welcome to Chapter 16, Digital Marketing. You guys are going to be very pleased because this is a very short chapter. It's only about 14 slides, I think. And the other thing is, just about everything we talk in this chapter, you've had in Marketing 325 or Promotions Management. This is just simply a review. We're going to talk about different digital marketing. We're going to talk about different ways to reach people through blogs, through websites, through community forums, and obviously the bell cow through social media sites. We're going to talk a little bit about the difference between company-sponsored blogs and contributors' blogs and some other things like that. But basically, it's going to be a review of Marketing 325. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoy it. Sit back, relax, and let's get started with digital marketing. As I said in the introduction, this chapter is all about digital communications, online and social media. Again, this chapter is going to be very quick because most of this, if not all of it, you heard in Promotions Management, Marketing 325 in my Promotions Management class. So the advantage of online marketing, the two main advantages of online marketing is one is you can send a tailored message. You can actually communicate. So if you think about CRM or customer relationship management, the best way to develop CRM is through online marketing. The second thing is it's inexpensive. You can do some creatives like we did in my Marketing 325 class and roll them on a social media manager like Hootsuite or something like that. Keep them rolling and roll them on things like Facebook. You can roll it out on Instagram. You can roll it out on Twitter. You can roll it out on LinkedIn. And it's really not a lot of money. And the other thing is you can place it and you can really pick your target market. Young target market, millennials and Zs, you're going to use more of the Snapchat, the Instagrams, and then the older target market, you're going to use more of the Facebook, the blogs, and the community forums. The disadvantages, there's so much out there. There is just so much out there that people are basically immune to it these days. So if you look, TV is still where a lot of people spend their leisure time. However, if you look at, mobile, desktop, and other digital media, it's about 6 hours. So if you think, think about this. People are up 16 hours a day, right? They're awake 16 hours a day. And about an hour of that is dressing and transportation and those types of things. If you look, 10 hours of it is done by TV or some type of either desktop, laptop, or social media, which is quite significant. So if you look at the time of day, mobile and digital media is still huge, as well as desktop and laptop, as you're working and then searching through shopping and doing other things like that. So your communication options, website search ads, display ads, and email for online marketing. We're going to talk about each one of them. Websites really is easy. You can attract people through a lot of visual communication, a lot of digital communication. More and more websites now are offering things besides just product information. We talked about content marketing when we talked about digital marketing back in Promotions Management or Marketing 325. And that content marketing is giving something back. For instance, if you look at the REI website, they're talking about tips about how to stay warm in sub-zero camping. And if you look at other websites, they're giving you something. They're giving you some type of information that keeps people coming back to their websites, as well as product information and that type of thing. So you can do a lot of it. The other thing that you can have from your website is you can have offshoots of your website or microsites. And that's what a lot of sites do. So it'll say, click here to learn about how to stay warm, or click here to learn about tips for losing weight or something like that in their particular website. And then they set up microsites that takes you off into different climates throughout the web. Search ads, the bell cow here is Google. Bing by Microsoft is trying to drive into that. Same thing with Yahoo, but really the bell cow is Google. 90, no, that's a little high. 80% of Google's revenue comes from SEO, search engine optimization, where people pay to have their sites. So really with search ads, there's two different things. There's ads. So if you look and let's say you type in running shoes, and it's interesting because I just typed in running shoes because I'm looking for running shoes for my daughter. When you type in running shoes, you see the sponsored ads, which people have paid for. And then you see the search engine optimization websites that people have paid Google for. So Google gets it two ways. They get it on the sponsored ad, and then they get it from making your website come up one of the top 5 or so. And then you pay on a click rate and things like that. So that is huge for search engine optimization. So the 7 key elements to designing a website. Context is key. Not just, flowery context, but give people back something they want. The community, your customization, being able to customize it, making sure that you've got some type of shopping cart abandonment strategy in there, connection, and also commerce. So with social media, we're talking about online forums, community forums, blogs, and social networks. Online and community forums would be schools, has a community forum about what's going on in school and those types of things. Those are online community forums. Oftentimes, schools will make extra money by selling ads on their online forums. Churches also have online forums. I know that the churches around my area have online forums and that type of thing. Let me move myself so you can see that. Blogs can be either company sponsored, where a company sponsors a blog. For instance, I hit really 2 different blogs. One of them is the Orange and Brown Report, which is the Cleveland Browns blog that is run by people that are contributing to blogs. And then also you have the Cleveland Browns blog that is run by the Cleveland Browns organization. So blogs can be either contributors or owned by the company. And then, of course, you guys are so familiar with social networks, with Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter being really the bell cows there. Facebook for the older generation, and then of course LinkedIn is a business social generation or social media thing. So with social media, usually, generally speaking, if you think about IMC or integrated marketing communications, and we talked about that ad nauseum and Marketing 325. Generally speaking, social media is always an add-on to other types of advertising content, whether that be posters, whether that be TV advertising, whether that be radio advertising. It could be in-store advertising, and then you do a QR code that scans and goes into social media sites or websites. Social media is really the way that marketers and brand managers try to communicate on a personalized message to their audience, to their target market. Word of mouth or buzz marketing. We talked about this when we talked about alternative marketing in Marketing 325. Buzz marketing or word of mouth marketing is really key. One of the ways to drive that is company-sponsored spokespeople. But really the big thing right now is social media influencers. People that have, hundreds of thousands of followers that are influencers, either fashion influencers, sports influencers, people that know sports influencers. Getting those people to sponsor your product or getting those people to talk about your product goes a long way to having people understand it. Especially if you can get somebody who's a social media influencer, like a guru of, say, football. Right now the draft's coming up, the football draft's coming up, and a lot of people are hitting social media influencers to try to see who's going to draft where. Those are the people, if you can get those people to sponsor your product or talk about your product, you're in like Flynn. The other thing you can do is you can get influencers in different geographical areas or different things, such as influencers in and around St. John Fisher, for instance, or influencers around Ohio State University. Those people that talk about your product or bring your product to light is a good way of driving word of mouth or buzz marketing. We just talked about identify and devote efforts, key people, influencers, word of mouth, referral channels, all those types of things. We just talked about this. Measuring the effect of word of mouth, really, it's hits on the website, it's advertising, it's sales, it's all those types of things can measure effects of word of mouth. Really, if you take a look at measuring word of mouth, it's not just goes for sales, because actually sales will lag sometimes 2 or 3 months, maybe even 4 months, depending. But you can really take a look at how you're trending on social media. You can see how you're trending with hits on your website, with click rates, dwell rates, click-through rates, all of those things we talked about in Marketing 325 when we talked about digital media. Mobile marketing, obviously you guys are more familiar with that than I am because you spend a lot of time on mobile websites as well as mobile social media sites like Twitter. Mobile marketing, mostly it should be visual because you guys will sit there and you'll click through and you'll scroll through. Where you stop, generally speaking, is something that is visually pleasing or visually interesting. So your copy, and we talked a lot about this when we did creatives back in 325, Marketing 325. Your creatives should be, especially if you're going to go social media, mostly visual with just a little bit of digital content or a little bit of text contents. Brand logo should be prominent, but not the majority of the image. But when you look at the image, the brand logo or the brand content should catch your mind. And color is a huge factor in mobile marketing. Mobile marketing cross markets, we talked about that. You can cross markets through major geographic as well as major and transcending major demographic and geographic markets. That will do it. Like I said, this is a shorter chapter because it's a review from what we did over there in Marketing 325. And with that being said, I hope you guys are all staying healthy, wealthy, and wise. We'll see you later.